we're moving towards a trend. Hopefully, we're moving towards a trend where we're valuing like personal intelligence, emotional intelligence more than just being violent.
Hello. Welcome back to the Above Average podcast. I'm Leon, your host today. And yeah, we switched it up a little bit because someone said we look uncomfortable on that table. And we were. So here we are on the couch, the beanbag, the Samoas, and we got a special guest today. But I'm gonna introduce my co-host, Darius.
Hey,
and
what's happening?
Randy. All right, Darius, introduce our guest today.
Oh, we have a special guest today. Very important to the podcast. A man who brought us our fantastic intro. Kyle Swank, also known as Christian.
What's up, Swank?
What's up?
I know, right?
I feel like we need a script just for the intro.
No, we don't.
That shit was all over the place.
That was such a smooth
Okay,
intro.
maybe you need a script for the intro.
I might need a script for the intro. Like, yo, I was trying to follow along. I was like, bro,
I mean... Well, welcome to the Chaos, Swank.
shit looks like a
Welcome to the-
heartbeat monitor right there. Shit. All right, why are we gathered here today?
Well, first, before we get down to the nitty gritty, like usual, I mean, we need to introduce him. So, Kyle Swank produced the Above Average Scrubs soundtrack and our intro song, and as you hear it all the time, and it's a fantastic work of art. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself, Swank.
Well, I got into producing right before the pandemic.
Swank, are you there?
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. No,
We can hear you now.
I almost cursed. Has it been 30 seconds?
That is...
Yeah, it's been 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You're free to.
But yeah, I got
free to
into
swear.
producing during the pandemic or like right before the pandemic. And the pandemic just gave me a lot of time to really hone in on it. And yeah. That's pretty much it in terms of producing. Other than that, I was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. But
Oh, word.
yeah, moved to Dallas. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Okay. Question for you. I've never had a chance to ask you this, but what was your process when you made the Above Average Scrubs album?
We have an album?
Yeah, it's a whole album. You didn't know it's a whole album?
Dang.
Yeah, it's a whole album.
Soundtrack to album. To,
But in terms of
to
like
intro.
the theme song, you gave me that song, the reference. I forgot what it was. It was that Doom track.
Oh yeah. Dang, I can't remember it right now, but yeah, it was the MF Doom track.
I listened to that shit repeatedly, like for a very, very long time. And then from there, I just like listened to a lot of trumpet samples and just searched for like the right trumpet that would give me like the feel that I was going for. And then from there, all of this was done on my MPC. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the MPC. It's a sampler. It's a piece of hardware where you can do all of the producing on the machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I chopped up the samples, chopped up the horn sample as a solo, and then replayed it into how you hear it, and then found like a sample to layer underneath, and that's the melody. I don't know like what kind of it's kind of like a piano. I don't know what it is, but it sounded nice. It worked. So I put them together, meshed it up, and then put the drums on top, in the form of that Doom reference track.
Yeah. So the reference track I found it's called Air. It's with Abstract Orchestra and Doom, MF Doom. So I definitely recommend anybody check that out. It's a fantastic song.
The rest of the album was just like, that was just stuff that I had been working on around that same time. And I felt like would fit nice with that track. Definitely check it out. It's gotten some great reviews.
Nice. Okay.
Got some great reviews on that one.
Nice. Yeah, well, I love it. I love the whole album. Listened to it at least 5 times the first time.
Yeah, I think we were rolling it like on loop throughout the week, just listening to it. It's like trying to pick like the one we wanted for like the intro. We just like, and then we went back and forth, like going like comparing like the 3 or 4 different ones on like vibes, personalities. We gave the songs the beats you made like personalities and everything. Like they kind of like grew into their own personas, and it was just like, all right, which one fits us? And the trumpets, the jazz vibes, I was like, all right, yeah, this is that roll up music. You know?
Wow.
And I don't know why that made me just like instantly connect with it.
I mean, cause it is a whole ass vibe though, for real though. Like, I think that's something that you really can hear throughout all of your music. Just some of the stuff you let me listen to and some of your other albums. I mean, you really do produce a vibe where you can chill or you can like really express yourself. Like you create a mood and like it fits everything, honestly.
Yeah. It sets the tone for what you want this session to be like. And for like the Above Average Scrubs, I felt like when we came together and wanted to start doing this type of stuff, we were like, we have good conversations about weird things and stuff we don't really have conversations with like in our normal social groups. And I was like, we want to find a place to do that on like and just get ourselves out there a little bit. And so the music that we ended up choosing like definitely fit the vibe. It's just like some homies getting together to just shoot the shit about problems that be stressing us out. So again, I appreciate you and I thank you for doing this for us, man.
No, I appreciate that. That's real.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to drink
now that we've gassed up Sway.
Yeah, now that we made him feel good about himself.
All right, so we have gathered here today to discuss a very polarizing topic. Masculinity and manhood. Now, you know, as the goal of the Above Average Scrubs, it's just to talk about subjects that we could potentially see are the pillar stones, whatever I'm trying to say. The important things that would shape society. And masculinity and how men act right now, I honestly feel that is a very important topic. Some people say that, oh, it attributes to violence that's going on in the world. It attributes to men not knowing their place, young boys feeling lost, so on and so forth. And it's just one of those things maybe I think we could, I mean, we're not going to solve it, but I think we can discuss some issues and see how we would approach them.
Yeah, I mean, our own perspective, really, of how we approach it. And I'm going to go ahead and let Swank talk about how, in his day-to-day, you feel like you're either in your masculine or using your masculine energy in a positive way.
Shit. That was a rough one. You started off with that.
Transition. Like, ease him into the thing.
Ooh, wait. Can you repeat the question?
So the question is, how do you feel like you use your masculine energy day to day in a positive way? And it could not be every day. You could just use it because you don't see someone every day and have the opportunity to do that. So it could be here and there whenever you interact with people.
I go to the gym. Uh, um, I really never thought about it. That's deep.
I'm, I mean, let's get into it. Like, Leon, what do you mean by like masculine energy?
So
Flesh this idea out.
yeah, so let's flesh out what I mean by masculine energy. So I mean, obviously people look at us different than they look at women on a day to day. I look at men differently than I look at women, right? And I'm looking at a man when it's their opportunity, when they're in the position to lead in some kind of way. Like that's the main thing I think of when I think of masculinity is they're there to help us get to a certain place doing using their masculine energy of leading, right? So that could be leading by example, that could be leading by words, that could be leading by I mean, honestly, those are the main two ways you lead.
So you attribute leadership to masculine energy.
Yes, definitely.
That. Okay, Darius.
Masculine energy to me, I define it as you projecting strength, not just physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. Like you are that rock that nobody can break type of situation. And you being that rock allows anybody to rely on you, whether it be your friends, family, loved ones, whoever. You're always there to be that pinnacle piece that nobody can break. But on top of that, people may say, well, that's going to attribute to a lot of stress. And I think that you being able to deal with that stress in whatever form is a pinnacle piece of masculine energy for me.
So Darius is going with like masculine energy is a depiction of strength, like more like not so much more of strength, but more so like a really strong wall, basically.
Exactly.
Like unbreakable and a solid foundation.
Right.
Cool. All right. Swank, tossing it back to you
Yeah,
on
I'm
your
understanding
perceptions. Yeah. Hopefully this helps instead of jumping straight into the water.
I view it more so.
How do you feel the words masculine energy is for you?
And you don't let this man talk?
Do you hear him? Like
I'm trying to rephrase the question better, man.
Excuse me. But I view it more so as like connection to self and like understanding, being able to understand and process your emotions, being able to display them healthily in whatever situation you're presented with. Because I mean, like as men, we're going to be presented with BS every day, but being able to understand what that BS is, why you're going through the BS, and how to navigate through it while staying level-headed, I would say that's...
Okay.
Yeah. Some more of the self-control and self-realization, like self-aware type of mentality. Yeah, yeah. Solid.
What about you?
I was hoping that by the end of all three of you guys, I would have a
so
good one.
Yikes.
Hey, look, I'm good at it. I'm good at vamping. Literally vampirism. As far as like masculine energy for me, it's like it. Damn, I'm finna cop out. It'd be like a little bit of all three. Nah.
I mean, if that's your truth, I mean,
nah.
It is a cop out, but
yeah, no, I think it's more so. I think it's gonna sound like a little bit of all three, but like genuine self-confidence.
Okay.
Like, don't be afraid of who you are and being able to express that, even though people might talk shit about it, put it down, and still standing strong and having like a affirmation in yourself to just continue to be. I feel like that's like peak masculine energy for me.
Okay. That's not a bad answer. So, actually, this is a good question. Is there such thing as bad masculinity, or just too much of one aspect?
Yes.
Yes. So let's think about it on the two things that we said, Darius: leadership and strength, right?
Yeah.
Someone trying to meaning going out of their way to lead is probably not going to be a good leader. Someone that was given the title and then said, "Oh, I'm the leader now. I get to tell everyone what to do," instead of allowing people to also have their autonomy while leading, it's probably going to end up in bad leadership, bad masculinity. Strength, the obvious, violent for no apparent reason, yelling for no apparent reason, putting down people for no apparent reason, is what I think is the edge of bad masculinity. And I mean, at a point, is not masculinity anymore. It's just a toxic person.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I guess, what would you say if a young boy came up to you and said, "Hey, I'm being bullied, or I don't feel self-confident in myself. I don't know what it means to be a man." What would you say are your top 5 traits that you think are to being a healthy man in today's society?
I don't. So there's one thing about this conversation that I don't think is necessary at all, honestly. But if someone says, "Well, I want to be a good man," and they're young, right? They're super young. They're like teens, going into high school. I say you shouldn't be looking to be a good man. You should be looking to be a good human being. And I think that's why I liked Swank's and Randy's definition of it, or thought process of it, is they said things that both men and women should be striving for: to be self-confident, to be self-aware, to be to own their own stuff, to be able to express themselves emotionally intelligent in an intelligent way. And that is going to allow them to be to feel strong, and allow them to feel when it's their time to be able to lead, be it in the household or on a sports team or at work. If they already have the self-awareness and the self-confidence, and they're doing what they say they're going to do. Like that's a big thing for me, is if you start doing what you say you're going to do, it's going to be easy for you to feel comfortable with yourself, to feel confident in yourself. And once you start doing that, it's not hard to think that, oh, what masculine features do I need? What traits do I need to enhance to make my life better, to make the people around me better, so that people can live their lives better.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Hey yo, okay. I'm gonna take a little leap here for a second. So on the topic of masculinity and all that stuff, it's also the topic of like, men aren't being gentlemen anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Swank. I'm gonna toss this hypothetical at you since we got you here. All right. So you go to the gym. You mentioned that you go to the gym, right? Cool. So you're at the gym. You're getting your reps in. Now, you see this girl. She goes to the gym. She's trying to get her squats in and everything. She's struggling. She needs a spot.
That's a dangerous situation.
She needs a spot.
Yeah.
You also see a tripod. She's recording her session. Are you gonna help her?
That sounds like a trap. I'm not gonna lie.
This is a current and real life situation now. Are you helping her out, Mr. Swank?
Honestly, no, I'm not. I'm not.
She's gonna die.
I mean, most likely she's not. Like, in all honesty, most likely she's not gonna die. She's just gonna be severely injured, like worst case scenario. But that's her business. She decided to get under that weight, and I do understand the situation that's going on with that whole thing right now, and the trend. No, I'm staying away from it.
Right,
Because
right.
It's not worth it.
So, yeah,
The situation where I catch a lawsuit because now she's saying that I pressed up on her in the wrong type of way when I was trying to save her life. Now think about it from a business standpoint.
Business.
right, yeah. So the whole being a gentleman and helping a lady out right here is it being killed by this anti-man rhetoric that's like flowing the social medias. Wow, I sound old as fuck saying that.
Okay.
You are a boomer. I mean, a millennial. So
You called me a boomer?
I did for a second. Sorry.
Damn.
But that's that's a very, very specific example.
It is, but that's just because it's like the one that I was presented with this morning when I woke up and rolled over and scrolled TikTok. It's fresh on the brain.
I mean, okay, but there are some women who genuinely don't like people, like men being gentlemen because they feel themselves. I can do bad by myself. It's like situation, like I don't need your help.
Shout out to Tyler
which
Perry.
is fine. You're right. But, I mean, does that stop you from still being a gentleman? I mean, because I know for me personally, if you don't like holding the door, I'm still going to hold the door for you.
I'm going to do the things that my mom taught me to do. I'm going to do the things that my dad taught me to do, but it's because they taught me to do it. I was raised to do it. But in terms of, like, just the situation with getting that spot, and I know she's recording, no. But other stuff, walking on the outside of the road, if I'm walking with a woman, holding the door, stuff like that, giving her my coat if she's cold, stuff like that, yeah, I'll do that stuff. But to a certain extent, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not opening the door for you. I'm not like opening the car door for you. I'm not doing that.
Opening the car door is almost impossible these days if you don't have like an automatic clicker thing. It's like I lost my keys and I haven't replaced that little clicker part, key fob thing.
What?
So like I can get way too into it.
Yikes.
But like so I have to manually open up my car now, and so like if I want to be the super gentleman that people want me to be, I have to run up to my driver's side, kick, and then run back over to the passenger side. I was like, I'm not doing that, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot. I understand.
That's a lot.
Replace your clicker.
The key fob. That's expensive, bro. Them shit's $300. $300-400. That's a PS5.
Search for another.
Imagine a
that's
situation
a
where you're being chased
PS5.
for your life. If someone is chasing you for like,
I mean,
to
for
kill
real, you over here like,
you know, you gotta like,
I mean, then I'm gonna die.
you jiggling your keys out.
I don't know why I ain't got a piece of nothing on me, but I'm gonna die.
okay.
If I'm in a place where people are chasing me, trying to kill me, I got no weapons, I'm trying to make it to my car, I don't know what I'm doing. Why was I in that situation?
Oh God.
I was on a downhill slope to self-afflicted unaliving at that point.
Oh, actually, here's a good question. Would y'all consider self-sacrifice as a trait of masculinity?
Ooh. Ooh. Oh
Damn.
man.
I have.
Oh.
I'm gonna go near the end on this one because I think
No.
No, you're going first this time. What do you mean?
Yeah, you can't stay.
I might get attacked for this viewpoint. But like I had a conversation with another homie about the whole self-sacrificing thing.
All right.
And I might have mentioned it on the podcast actually. But I feel like media, film, books, whatever, have like glorified the self-sacrificial nature of parents, where they will end up quote unquote dying for their kid. And I disagree entirely with that. A parent should not die for their kid. Because if you do die as a parent, that kid's fucked.
Go on.
So like, people need to... sacrifice is important when you're like being a parent. Male, man, dad, mother, all that stuff. But if you're doing so much to the point where you're not going to be alive before the kid reaches adult age, you don't have enough self-preservation in yourself to take care of yourself and be there.
So like,
I feel like that's different.
Yeah, so what do you mean, Darius? Can you clarify on your...
Because Randy, right now you sound like you have a bear running at like you and a kid, and you like tripped the kid because you sacrificed. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm talking about like this whole working yourself.
I'm just saying that's how you
shit.
sounded right now. You like, man, fuck this kid. Like,
I mean, we can go there too.
oh shit! Oh God. I guess what I mean, like, by self-sacrifice, like, so, for example, let's say you and your person you're trying to court, or the person that you are married to, let's say y'all hit some hard times and so on and so forth, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go work 2 extra jobs, right? And so we can keep making rent, or we can keep making this mortgage, whatever. And, you know, that's going to add a lot of stress and a lot of wear and tear in your body. And that's what I mean by self-sacrifice. As a man, is that something you should have to do?
Like be the main and sole provider?
Not necessarily be the main or sole provider. I mean, let's be real. In today's society,
you're
you can't
becoming
do that.
the main provider when you're working like 2-3 extra jobs on the side.
I mean, yes, you are technically the main provider, but not the sole provider.
Yeah, but you are taking a majority of the burden.
Correct.
Which makes you essentially like the main/sole provider, because they're not bringing the same amount to the table.
But here's the thing: you're never going to be in that same situation where everybody's making the exact same wage. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't want to say sole provider, because like I said, today's client, you're not going to make us. There's no such thing as a sole provider unless you're providing strictly for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know. But yeah, like as a man, should you be the one to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this," or should you talk to your wife and be like, "Oh, well, let's try you getting a second job, and me getting a second job"?
No, that's. Oh wait, did anybody want to say anything?
We're still waiting on you to answer the question.
I'm out. But yeah, nah. So I feel like the whole having a conversation with both of you guys getting a second job is like the normal route to go in today's climate because you're both already working. If you guys don't have any other responsibilities outside of your own, you two, if you already have like a main job each and you want to get something more, you both should take up second jobs.
Right, but she's saying, well, let's say, but they're saying, but I guess the question is, as a man,
should you be the only one that take a second job? Depends on if that's what you want.
So you wouldn't necessarily attribute that to masculinity.
No, you just at the end of the day, you just want more money, and that's everybody. So like, I don't. If you want more money and you see that your one income isn't doing it, you're gonna get a second job, or you're gonna transfer jobs. But like, if there's a couple goal that you want, and it's specific, like you're down for it, you're gonna put forth the effort to get that, regardless of what the other person does.
That's fair.
Okay, so I don't think self-sacrifice is a masculine trait. In the extreme cases and in the mundane, I need more money cases, it's and what the solution to that, the mundane one of we need more money to get by, we need to get to a second job. I think the masculine trait or masculine thing that happened there is the leadership of, hey, I think you should get a second job and I get a second job and we can get through this. That's the
decision making,
the decision making, the leadership of, hey, we need to do this so we can be better off.
Not so much doing the task, but more so deciding how we're going to get to our goals.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the masculine thing. Yeah, I think that's the masculine thing.
But couldn't you argue that because we talked about displaying strength and bearing the blunt of things, like
you're bearing the responsibility of the decision.
Yes, because that's honestly the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, the hours that the person spends at work are going to be hard, but a lot of people are scared of making a decision because they know that at the end of the day they will be blamed, and then now they have to take that burden of being blamed for the success or the failure of, oh, let's go this route. And not a lot of people like to have that on them. And I'm not expecting a woman to have to bear that because it's annoying, and I don't want my woman to have to bear, oh, I made a bad decision. Now I have to, think about my life and, oh, it was so bad. There's no reason to. I got it. I'm fine. I made the decision. We're chilling.
Fair enough. I see what you're saying.
I think it's more so like bearing the burden of the decision versus bearing the burden of the work. Because the decision is a bit more heavier than the work. You can zone out and just knock that shit out.
That's true.
Once you've decided on a course of action, it's just doing.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true. Have y'all, and this is a question for Swain, have you specifically ever been in a situation where your manhood was questioned because you didn't act a certain way by your peers?
Let's all take turns. Let's go with Swain first.
Yes, go Swain first.
Has my manhood been questioned because I didn't act a certain way by my peers? Yes.
Of course I have.
Yes.
Okay. If you feel comfortable, what was the situation?
Ooh, I mean, there's been a number of situations. I mean, standard like disrespect, like those moments that Boondocks made famous.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to get me to succumb to one of those moments. To someone looking at that, they could be like, "Okay, you punked out." I was like, "No, that's not worth it.
Right, because you chose not to resort to violence in this one instant.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, why is it like the biggest attribute like being a man is like you gotta fight, you gotta be violent.
Well, I mean, because
that's the manliest thing right here that for our world.
But think about the historical. Think about it like historically, right?
Yeah.
Back in like let's say the medieval times, that's what you had to do to keep your shit. Like
that's why it's called the evil times.
I mean, but for real though, that's what you had to do to keep your shit. Because if not, I can just run up in your house, take everything that you have, and then you can't do shit about it.
You can still do that today.
I mean, you can, but well, I mean, Texas. I mean, you gotta play a little bit differently. Like everybody got a gun in Texas. You can't just be running up in people's houses.
But that's the same thing. Everybody had swords back then. It was literally carrying them on their...
I mean, but not everybody could fight though. You see what I'm saying?
Nobody need to fight no more. We got guns.
But that's different. But okay, I guess what I'm saying is that nobody was in the sense of like I'm okay to taking your life like that. Like,
fair points.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
like,
going back then?
No, now.
Times. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I mean back then they were fine with it. They're like, oh, you went up in my house, cool. I have no problem killing you. It's flat, plain, and simple. That's just how it is.
True.
But that's what I'm saying. The historical aspect. That's why we've always treated violence and fighting to manhood, because back then you had to. If you did it, then your shit was gone. It would be your wife, your kids, your livestock, whatever. That shit was mine if I wanted.
Livestock.
I mean, I'm for real though. Like, that's just the truth. If I wanted that shit and you couldn't defend it, that's mine.
I mean, well, not even manhood, just like who owns shit has always been tied to war, like since the beginning of humanity.
Humanity, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, historically, that's why we've always attribute masculinity to fighting.
Yeah, but like, I'm trying to like. Here's the thing, like, I'm trying to move forward to borrow from Darius, as a society, and like the thing that a lot of people attribute to being a man is the ability to throw hands successfully. Yeah, it's like you lose a fight, you're not a man. If you fight, you have to win to quote unquote continue being a man.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree.
I believe you can get your ass whooped.
Yeah, you can lose a fight and still be a man. I feel like people are gonna look at it and be like, okay, did you like
fight?
Did you
or did you just get your ass
back
beat?
down from the fight?
Right.
They look
I mean, because you gotta look at
more so as
look at all the '90s movies that we watched, like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society.
yeah.
I mean, everything. Like, they never backed down from a fight. They always got their asses whooped.
Yeah.
But they never backed down from a fight.
Exactly.
So it's rising to the challenge.
Yeah, if you rise to the challenge and you don't meet the challenge, then cool.
Cool.
I think, okay, well, yeah, that's great. 90s movies, medieval times. I think
2023.
let's go to 2023. You really got to start thinking about, is it worth it?
Oh yeah, consequences.
Like, I don't feel like that's been displayed in any kind of media of the person saying, is this worth even trying to beat someone's ass or getting my ass beat, right? Is it worth that? Or can I just take my girl and leave? Can I just take my family and leave? Like, it's not, that takes way more cognitive ability than just saying, oh, well, I'm challenged, so I might as well go ahead and fight.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like losing a fight in 2023 is worse because not only did you lose said fight, but your ass is still going to jail afterwards. Like,
Right.
And it's on camera.
Yeah.
And it's on camera.
And it's posted on the internet and it's forever.
Yeah, yes. Like, I think we're moving towards a trend. Hopefully, we're moving towards a trend where we're valuing like personal intelligence, emotional intelligence more than just being violent
I hope
for
so.
violence sake.
And I think it's honestly
I'm
like
aiming for that, Mr. Swank.
it's like a case by case basis. Because I'm not gonna lie, I still have like caveman brain sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, I'm about to beat this dude's ass. Like, you know, like, and I have to stop myself. Like, I do. I have to really think about that shit. I'm like, like, I'll be at the supermarket sometimes, and people just like bump into me, or like, I'll be like driving and someone cuts me off. I'm like, ooh, like, man, if I had a rock, I'd definitely like be in the car right now. But like,
Wow.
Oh, smash.
but again, I have caveman brain. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know myself.
I don't know if you want to call that caveman brain.
I'm just saying, like,
you need a stress ball on hand.
I know he doesn't. No, he doesn't need. Do not give him a stress ball, please.
Oh God.
I'm thinking like I'm gonna be shopping at the local grocery store, and I don't see Darius when I like turn the corner. I bump my cart into him. Next thing you know, I'm like in the milk section.
No, I mean, it's just rudeness. It's just like me being a military family. Like, I was taught you respect others until they disrespect you. You say yes, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. You just treat others with respect, and them disrespecting you is the ultimate insult, right? And again, this may have been some things I inherited from my father, because he's not like this now. He's mellowed out a lot. But when I was younger, he was very much so like, yo, don't let nobody punk you. Like, you know, and I did learn a lot from that. And then as I got older in high school, there was a situation where I had like didn't back down from a fight, and I got tackled by multiple teachers and so on and so forth. I get expelled. And my dad was like, why'd you do that? And I explained it to him, and he was like, but look at it now. You've been suspended, and now you might not graduate. Was that worth it?
He was prioritizing your understanding of like the situation over you just
Exactly.
Yeah, respond.
But I was taking his words to heart. Like, well, you said don't let anybody punk you.
dads out there, pay attention to the metaphors and idioms you relate to your children, because they'll take it literally.
I mean, that was just what it was. I was like, okay. You know? But I also think also masculinity is kind of like wine too, in the sense that it gets more complex and more flavorful as you age. You start seeing it in more of a different perspective. For example, like when my dad first told me that, he was in his early 30s, right? And then when he told me this when I was in high school, he was in his late 40s, early 50s. You see what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have told him that. And so, I mean, you're right. I think as a father, you have to be very careful, especially in today's times, what you say to your
Children
kids.
are very literal creatures, as the resident almost dad.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess this is another question, but I'm gonna let. Wait, who was talking? Was it Swank? Never mind.
Swank didn't get to say much, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did cut you off. Going back to the question at hand. I guess, how did you handle that situation when
you got demasculated?
Well, I'm not gonna say he got demasculated, but
No, people were trying to demasculate him because he didn't want to fight. That's exactly the situation.
Yeah, it's like you just keep pushing forward. I feel like that's the only way that affects you is if you can't really think for yourself. And that's why it's really important just to teach kids how to think for themselves. And then, like, it's just, you keep moving forward. It's another day.
That part.
that's fair.
The ability to understand yourself and still press forward and continue being proud of who you are in light of all the adversity you may face, that's to me what being a true man is. Not being afraid of it. And that means anybody can be a man.
So it sounds like the hero complex.
Hell yeah, bro. You the hero of your own story.
So I like that you say that anyone can be a man. I think the way that we should say this in the context of this conversation is that everyone has masculine energy. Everyone has the ability to lead. Everyone has the ability to be strong through perseverance. Everyone has that. But us as men, as in a society that says women and children leave first, women and children are safe first, women and children first, women and children need to be safe. The people that they're leaving out there are the men that need to persevere and lead and protect with strength, protect through decisions. That's being a man. And I don't care how many times you ask this question about what is masculinity or is masculinity even a thing? If it wasn't, we wouldn't be saying women and children first. We wouldn't be saying women at least. We'd be saying children first. That's it. Everyone else, make sure we shut this shit down.
Yeah, I feel you.
I actually want a petition to change that phrase to just children first. In the current state of affairs where we're all fighting for equality.
But did you just say fuck them kids not too long ago?
I'm a growing individual.
Yeah, literally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I'm allowed to change.
Sure.
Within minutes. Oh, that was just 10 minutes ago, Randy.
Yeah, bro, that's the old me. Come on, bro.
That's the old me.
Yeah.
You gone through your rebirth?
Yeah, bro. I wish people could adapt as quickly as I could, bro. You know how hard it is to change an old head's mind on anything?
Gosh.
Oh, no, you're officially old head now?
Hell yeah.
Damn, that's the
I'm turning 30.
Oh, shucks. Shucks.
I got responsibilities.
God.
But yeah. Let's just change it to you grown. Figure this shit out. Stop running away and letting another grown person figure it out for you.
So, how do y'all feel about the phrase fatherless activity?
What?
I'm sorry.
Who?
What?
Fatherless activity.
Was it who?
Like, people doing things as the internet says, as a result of not having a father in their life.
Wait,
Are you talking about daddy problems?
You say
Okay.
fatherless activities?
Yes. It's like saying hood activity. It's like saying gang activity, except it's fatherless activity. That's fine. We got the other one. I'll fix it in a second.
Wait, is this another connotation of like
Or fatherless behavior. Yeah.
it sounds like another way to like hate to take it there, but keep black people down or like stigmatize in a way fatherless activities. Because when you think about that, I like think about how Leon instantly went to it's like hood activities or it's like gang activities. Those are also connotations that are meant to stigmatize in a way.
Well, I mean, but sometimes that gets attributed to women, right? Like, say, when women make OnlyFans, people are like, oh, that's fatherless behavior. Or whenever a guy comes out as his sexuality being gay or wanting to be trans, people equated that to being having fatherless behavior. And to me, I'm just like, I don't think a father is a direct result of you being masculine or having guidance and everything like that.
Yeah, it's really more so about whether or not your father was a piece of shit or not.
Yeah, because your dad can still be around and be like
Yeah, you still be a
teaching
horrible
you to
person.
make an OnlyFans.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Hello. If you were just watching the podcast, you would realize that the screen just froze. And that was because of a technical error on my part. And because of that, I will be adding a little bit of filler. Nothing that adds substance to the podcast, but this is a good time to remind you to like. If you like anything in the video or dislike, you can do that too. If anything comes to mind, go ahead and just comment it down below. And if you want to see more, well, subscribe. Now, back to the podcast. Oh, yes, and I will be making a mojito today.
Like, yeah, you could have your dad around. He's only about the bag, so you grow up thinking only about money. So you like graduate high school, next thing you know, you got OnlyFans. Because that's it. Just I don't know. I don't. This is the first time I've heard of fatherless activities being a phrase. Really? Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I'm on the social medias. Not really, but what was the question again?
I just how you felt about it.
I'm just learning about this now.
Okay.
I feel like it's just another. I'm gonna take this from Fox. A buzzword that's been created
Down.
to again marginalize POCs.
Okay. Oh, actually. Okay. Maybe this is a better question. Do you believe that being raised as a POC, what's it being raised, but as a POC, masculinity was defined very different from how you would see like the majority defining masculinity?
Run that back. Oh wait, Swank got something.
Nah, I have nothing. No.
Yeah, I need you to run that question back a little bit.
So, like, for example, like some of the things that your father may have said, like, do you think it was defined as being because he's a POC, not because that was masculine, but because he was a person of color?
I'm gonna lay it out for the audience. Little history about Randy right now. We're gonna talk about me and my dad's relationship. He didn't really teach me what it meant to be a man or instill any kind of gentlemanly values in me. Like holding a door for somebody was not something I learned until I was almost 20. So like when it comes to like growing up in a household, like I don't think I was taught or reinforced with any of what we have been talking about today. Now, as a POC, I definitely have had like my own struggles and acclimating to whatever environment I've been in throughout school and adulthood. But now with that information, we're going to go back to what Derek was asking me about. Man, I don't know.
What?
I need a drink.
Oh my god! It was such a. I fucking hate you. God. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, that build up. Oh boy.
Okay. Swank. What about you?
I think as I learned things growing up as like from a masculinity standpoint, and I also learned things growing up from the standpoint of a black man, and I feel like those are kind of separate in a way. I don't really put them in the same box of things.
Okay. I mean, I get that because our lived experiences are different. Okay. Well, while Leon's making his drink, I'm gonna sidebar this thing, and I'm gonna slander you again. Why do you think Boruto is a good show?
Bro,
We're taking a leap.
I said it was a sidebar.
If you get past the BS, if you get past the filler, it is a great storyline underneath. There's great character building when you understand and you accept the fact that these kids are growing up in a time of peace. It's still great character building going on. It's still great fight scenes. It's still great chemistry between the characters. You just got to get through the BS. Once you get through the BS, you realize that like these kids cold.
But how can you say that it's a good show if you have to get past everything that's actually the main part of the show, which is filler?
I feel like I'm a jump on Swank's defense here. When it comes to saying a show is good or not, historically, as an anime community, we've always been told to disregard the filler.
Always.
So even though your argument is that Boruto volume of episodes is mainly filler, if you disregard the filler, it's now a 12 episode show. But is that 12 episode show good?
It's a good 40 episodes tops.
Okay, yes. So he's got 4 seasons of a normal show's runtime.
You got about
being
4
a
or
good
5
show.
seasons of a normal show, and that 4 or 5 seasons is some of the best animation.
Yeah. Right. Because
From a standpoint of
Naruto's fillers suck. Bleach fillers suck.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that. I
will say that. Bleach fillers suck.
Bleach filler, I think, was actually better than most filler.
By filler standards, which means they still suck.
But either way it
fillers-
goes, you have to hold Boruto to the same standard
Yeah, you have to
You disregard
remove
the
the fillers
filler.
from Boruto. Do you like the show?
all together.
All 300 episodes of filler removed. Do you like the show?
It's a great show.
But that's 300 episodes.
Okay, but you have to remove the
You
filler.
have to remove the filler.
One Piece has the same amount of fillers.
Oh my
Shippuden
God.
has hella filler.
Shippuden at most has what? Maybe 150 episodes of filler.
Oh, so because
Yeah,
it
for a
has
300 episode show.
But there's significant story between that filler. Whereas Boruto's actual story, I don't even think people can really tell you what it is because there's so much filler.
I can tell you what the story is. But
Hit 'em.
I mean, do we want to go spoiler alert? Do we want to go?
No one's
full
gonna watch Boruto Swank. We're not worried about spoilers. I went from defending this man to
essentially,
attacking him.
Boruto, the story of Boruto is you got some kids growing up during the time of peace. Naruto has became the Hokage. Sasuke is off as like a shadow Hokage doing his he's basically like the new Jiraiya in a sense. He's out like shadow ops, like fucking people up. He comes back and raises his he has a daughter. All of the kids are like, all of the kids are like connected to the former kids in some type of way, but they're growing up in a time of peace. At the same time, you still got like the Atsutsuki clan shenanigans. It didn't end with Kaguya. Kaguya was just like the beginning of all of that. So that storyline is continuing, and like instead of Boruto having a nine-tailed fox, he gets merged with like a Atsutsuki, so he's like part alien basically, because you find out down the road that these people are actually like aliens and they're like here to devour the earth or all of the chakra or whatever, and yada yada yada. It's some cold fight scenes. And that's pretty much the storyline. Instead of the nine-tailed fox, it's aliens.
The Boruto is expanding on the world of Naruto. As it's introducing more of a universe instead of just some village type shit. There's different jutsus, there's different fighting styles, there's new things being developed. They're modernizing ninjutsu. And honestly, it's mad tight.
And shit.
Yeah, it's mad tight when it comes to the main episodes. Darius, your point stands if you take into consideration the filler.
But then you have to take into consideration.
We don't do that.
If you take into consideration the filler on One Piece, how do you feel about that show?
Technically, One Piece does not have filler.
Oh my gosh.
It does.
It's technically not filler. It just is very...
I watched 12 episodes of flashbacks.
But that's not filler.
No,
That's actually important to the story. That's not filler.
No, because you can go back and just watch those moments again.
I mean, you can,
That's
but
filler.
those are important to
they're
the story.
reusing assets.
But they're still important to the story. Whereas filler is the sense of like storylines that actually do not canonically fit within the storyline.
Bro, I just watched a Big Mom arc episode of them being lost at sea and hungry and making a road stop to get food and them still being hungry.
It's not
by the time
filler.
the
Filler is anything that you can take out and still have the story
Context.
make sense.
Yeah.
If you can take the episode out in its entirety and not lose any type of meaning to the story or understanding to the story, then it's filler.
It's okay. Boruto is just not your show, and that's fine. I felt the same way about Black Clover.
Black Clover is definitely not. Hey, that's the scream. the screaming. What's his name?
The
Asta?
screaming.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
That shit is
Still
horrible.
a better character than Boruto. By far.
The same character as Boruto.
No.
It's literally the same character.
No.
They're all
I'm not gonna have- I'm not
Naruto
gonna have this
copies,
debate with
let's be
y'all.
honest.
Which one's more masculine, to bring it back to the topic?
Who's more masculine?
Asta or Boruto?
I don't know, because they're all about the power of friendship.
No,
so-
no, it depends on what you view masculine as. Is it strength or is it emotional intelligence?
I wouldn't say Boruto has emotional intelligence. Or intelligence, period, sometimes.
Actually, Boruto is very emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, he's speaking out against his dad's. He's actually bringing point to his dad of like why he thinks he's a shitty father. He's actually trying to communicate with the people in his
Yeah.
life to figure out.
But Boruto himself is not aware of his own shitty characteristics.
Yeah, and people check him consistently about it because he's fucking 10.
Yeah, he goes through like understanding and development through this process.
Yeah.
That's the process of
Asta's
becoming
just throwing
completely
hands and doing
self-aware.
push-ups.
I mean, but Asta is already aware of that emotional intelligence, of treating people correctly and everything like that, as well as his peak physical attributes.
He throws hands at the drop of a hat.
No, he will analyze the situation first. He's just not going to run up on somebody and just sneak him one. Like, that's not...
No, he doesn't sneak. He'll yell as he's running, and the fight
Because he wants to be able to defend himself.
It's on site with Asta. What you on about?
I'm just saying.
Hey, it just depends on what you value.
Ooh, that is actually a good segue.
Hell yeah, I'm good at this shit.
Leon, since you haven't spoken in a while, I know we were talking about subjects that are not your domain.
Yeah, I love it though. I love when y'all go on an anime tangent. It's funny to me.
I guess I know we kind of touched about it a little bit before, but is like when it comes to the value of masculinity, do you think that is the most? What would you rank that as far as like your characteristics of? I guess like would you rank that above? No, I wouldn't say rank that above being a good person. I guess how do you value masculinity? Like how do you appreciate it? How did you?
Is it important to you? Is it important?
Yeah,
character
is
trait
it
to be
important to
masculine?
you?
Is masculinity important to me?
Yeah. Is quote unquote being a man.
No, he got the question.
No, that's a better question. No, that's not. I can easily answer that question. Cause the words of being a man is not important to me in the sense that if anyone else says it to me, it doesn't mean shit to me.
Okay.
And the reason why when asked, is the value of masculinity important to me, a different question and harder to answer, is because it's something that I have to continue to define even while we're having this conversation. But how other people define it, how being a man, when said by someone else, is defined, I don't care. You don't define it for me. I know what it is for me, and I'll keep that definition for myself. I don't care about what you think being a man is.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
From that sense, it's like everybody's view of masculinity is going to be different. So,
Yeah.
how do you even, honestly, how do you even give a fuck? How do you truly, do that? That's why I said it's important. If you just think for yourself, then you don't have any of these issues at all.
So I mean, yeah, dude. Is that? But then saying that, then if everybody values different viewpoints of masculinity differently, and to the extent differently, can we ever actually call masculinity toxic?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same question when it comes to like how people want to live their lives. Is there a bad way to live your life? Yes.
It's the same question when you ask, is there a bad masculinity? Like it's the same thing. It's you're doing too much. You're trying too hard to be strong. You're trying too hard to be the leader.
You're not connected.
You're trying
with
too
all
hard.
sides.
You're not, and you're not connected with all sides of being a human being. So, there's a such thing as toxic masculinity, and some people, I've seen a lot of TikToks where they're like, "How is this toxic masculinity?" And it's always like something very simple. It's always something very simple of like some person protecting. No, the one I saw was there was I'm going to say cock, but I mean chicken. I mean male chicken, right? I mean eggplant, and protecting another female chicken from an eagle or something. And he was like, "How is this toxic masculinity if he's just protecting his female chicken?" And I'm just like,
But I think that's different. Like,
yes, it is different, and that was like the defense of why do people not want toxic masculinity? And it's like that's not what that is.
yeah, I feel like that person doesn't understand what it is, or it's just making a
Assumption.
not even assumption. He's just making a bullshit argument.
It's a bullshit argument.
Fair enough.
What is toxic masculinity to you?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm good at this shit.
Well, I already answered that question twice now.
Yeah. For me, I guess it would be.
Leon, one more time. What is toxic?
Oh wow.
Go ahead, G.
I would say for me, anything that you would cause another person harm. You know, like if I'm projecting strength, right? But like I'm saying, oh, I have to dominate you to be projecting strength, right? That to me is causing harm. You know, oh, chill out. Or like Leon was saying, like I'm the leader, and your opinion doesn't matter, or being so caught up in yourself. I mean, essentially, toxic masculinity are things that you consider to be a bad person in general.
Yes.
I mean, that's just really what it comes down to. That's all it is. It's just you having bad traits of being a person, which is kind of what I'm getting at. I feel like toxic masculinity doesn't exist. It's just you being a bad person.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's you being a bad person as a man, and saying that the thing that you're doing is masculine.
Fair. That's fair.
That's what it is. And of course that person is not saying that, but they're saying it in other ways. They're saying, I'll beat you up, or I'll do whatever I want, or anything that is not considerate, but also saying that because I am strong, I am being a man by doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why there is a such thing as it, but it's really just a person being a bad person at the end of the day.
Yeah. What about you, Sway?
Oh no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. It's just you're not connected with all sides of being a good person or having understanding of true emotional intelligence. Something somewhere is lacking. Somewhere with your emotional intelligence or emotional awareness of self, and is being displayed in some type of toxic manner that either you or society is deeming to be masculine.
Yep.
I'm trying to put the words together here.
He said deeming. That was like the biggest word he said. I don't understand.
No, I'm talking for myself.
I know. I'm still talking about 4 years. What are you putting together? Shit, now I'm putting words together.
Hard cuts to blank stares.
Right.
But yeah, I think toxic, like my personal idea of toxic masculinity is.
Oh, you mean your own words? I'm so upset.
Yes, yeah,
Sorry.
not Swank's words. Swank was very clear.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
He uses like good words.
Which is why you have to put your okay.
Yeah, bro, I gotta follow that guy up. Fuck. But yeah, I think toxic masculinity happens when you take yourself and the physical attributes of what you consider like yourself. Like what's that fucking guy? Andrew Tate. Like he takes his whole
God.
Yeah, this is a good example of toxic masculinity.
Good old Andrew Tate.
Good old Andrew Tate. Like he uses his physical attributes of being a man to put those who don't fit his mold down. And
Yes.
But that's why I would just call it arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be a part of toxic masculinity.
yeah, it's a part of it for sure. But he's also like attributed to taking away like opportunities away from you because you don't meet what he is. If you're not a man, you can't do this sort of rhetoric. Like, I think I watched a TikTok because this is how I consume medias and stay woke now. Is I watched a TikTok of him going off about he, as a man, could fuck whoever he wants because he's quote unquote top dog, top G.
Top G. Bro, it's so funny to hear.
Yeah, I know I'm giving him more like whatever the fuck by talking about it, but he goes on to say it's like, but women should be virgins to him because it devalues them when they're not. And so he's taken away the ability for a woman to do the same thing he does, but he won't accept that he's being devalued while he does it.
Hey, I'm sorry,
Because he's
but
a
it sounds
man.
like Andrew Tate is having a lot of bad sex.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Do not live like Andrew Tate. You will be disappointed and be surrounded by so much hate.
Is that why he's so angry?
No, it's because he's... Yeah.
It's because he's the man that had to make so many decisions to be top G.
When it comes to...
But then, if you were a man, you would be able to take that and still be kind to people around you.
Let me go ahead and put myself on a cross and say that he is quote unquote peak small dick energy.
Whoa. God.
If he only wants to show his shit to virgins, I mean, what's he signing something?
Okay.
That's a good point.
No, he doesn't have a good point. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, bro.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have one more question for y'all. Do y'all think that women are the ones who actually define what masculinity is?
Ooh.
masculinity is. I mean, they can. They have a right to.
No, it's fair. That's fair. They
But
can have an opinion on what being a man is. Yeah, that's for sure. Everybody can have an opinion.
I mean, but think about what we quote unquote call gentleman behavior, right?
Which I
It
did
all
learn
centers around how we treat a woman.
Is it? Okay, carry on.
I don't want to say all, but
Yes,
majority, it does center around
Majority?
how you would treat a woman. Men were the ones who decided that. I don't like. I mean, let's just say I don't think men are the ones who decided that. That was women. I think women were saying, "Hey, we want you to hold the door open for us." Women said, "Hey, we want you to pay for our meals." Women said, "Hey, we want you to walk on the side of the street where cars are." Women, I feel like women are the people who said that.
I feel like it would be both sides that said that to a certain extent, right? Like let's go back to how I defined part of being a man. It's making decisions. It's making sure that my girl doesn't have to worry about the burdens of those decisions. I define that. So that is me trying to protect my woman and even the people around me sometimes, right? So the walking on outside of the street thing, that could have been a mutual decision. You're right. You would be safer. I'm gonna walk on the side of the street. I'm gonna tell my boy to do that. I'm gonna tell his son, my grandson, to do that. I'm gonna tell the kid that comes up around the block to do that. And yes, she was a part of the decision to define it, but she wasn't the sole, hey, yeah, you should do this. And then tell your son to tell his son. And no, like it's still a mutual society decision of we need to protect women and children. So I don't think it's just women that decide what masculine is, but also, again, who cares what anyone else thinks it is? If you don't fit the mold of what masculine energy is to that woman that you're trying to court, then you don't fit the mold. Fine. Define it for yourself before you try to fit someone else's mold.
hey, someone's free to fact check me on this, but I think a lot of these like things were historical pieces of history that evolved over time. A lot of gentlemen behaviors are like evolutions of what they expected knights to do back in the ages of knights in shining armor. The walking on the street was that's an evolution of the woman walking on the right side of a knight, so his sword hand is free to grab his sword that's on his left side and strike a motherfucker down if need be.
Wow.
It's all like an evolution of things that used to be done a different way. So it's kind of, those things aren't done that way now, but it's still, it makes it weird to where now you have this gray area of, if you don't think for yourself or if you listen to everything coming from all directions, it's like information overload, kind of.
Okay.
Facts. Going back to are women the reason why are the reason why behind the definition of being masculine? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah. Man, again, I'm not really sure about what it means to have gentlemanly behavior. I didn't learn that till late in my life, and I have problems exercising that on the daily, if not monthly. But as far as like hearing about women, like how they feel about, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what women want. Every woman or a person wants something different in a spouse or someone they're trying to court. Some people want like the hyper gentlemen that are opening every door, opening every passenger door, buying flowers for literally everything. You know, some people want someone who will just support them in what they want to do, like their own industry, their own like how they want to come up in the world. And I think they'll define that whatever they want as masculine behaviors. Like, oh, my man is like all in for me, like starting my own business and being my own woman. It's like, well, my man is like waiting on me hand and feet. And it's like kind of what they want to define for themselves as masculine. So I don't know if it's them like deciding on what masculinity means as a whole, but when it comes to like choosing the person they want to court, they definitely have in their head like their idea person, male or female or whatever. So if you're courting somebody, you're gonna unconsciously want to fill in that mold, and it becomes more of a decision whether or not you want how much of yourself you're willing to give up to fit someone else's mold. And that's the definition of masculinity, I guess, that you become for that person.
When you say that, though, now I think about what's the root of it, though. Would that be women telling men that this is how they want to be treated, and then the women and the men telling their daughters that this is how a man should treat you? Or would that be the men deciding that we're going to act this way for our women and then showing that to their daughters, and then the daughters deciding, hey, this is how my father acted, and now this is what I expect of you because now I had this example in my life. You can look at that two different ways.
Yeah, and I think that's why that question is so
expansive.
Expansive. I don't know what the word is. I don't know the word. I'm thinking about how the only reason that could be correct, the thought of women defining masculinity, is because if we don't fit that mold, we will not get women.
Right.
That's just how it is. Like if the only reason we're defining masculinity is because we're defining what we want from a man, really what we expect from the man. Yeah, it does. It's depend on the woman, and that's why the question is correct. Because it's really a statement of it's a question. Do women define masculinity? Yes, they do. Because if we don't fit the mold of whatever they want from a man, we're not doing what we want. We're not getting what we want, which is the woman, apparently.
Right. Because now that you brought that to my attention, and I'm weird, what is the purpose of masculinity? Is it to court folk with it? Is it primarily for courtship behaviors? Because if that's the case, is it masculine to be someone for the sake of being with someone?
Isn't that called beta behavior?
Thanks for joining us on this.
Walks offset.
Yeah. I think to wrap, I don't know how long we're going into this, but I think what we can all like agree on is
I'm ready to go for another 20 or 30 minutes.
Like,
I'm fired up.
Be yourself for yourself, and if at any point you're acting like a quote unquote man on behalf of someone, are you actually being the man you think you are?
No.
Well, it comes back to knowing yourself, right? And knowing your worth.
Being a true man is just being you.
Being a true man is thinking for yourself.
Wow. Yeah, I look back
the more
to
you know.
the more you know.
I look back to the first time I bought a suit, right? Or I went to go buy a suit, and I went by myself. It was like freshman year of college, and I went to take off the suit, and I had to hang up the suit. I didn't know how to hang up a pair of pants, a pair of dress pants, get the creases right, and then put it on the rack. I didn't know how to do that. And this guy, you know, the old white man that's trying to sell me this suit, says, "Oh, you don't know how to put up a pair of pants?" And it's like, why are you laughing at? Like, I didn't have the experience. I didn't have.
Now, the cynical part of me, I don't think it had anything to do with him laughing at you as your manhood. I think he was laughing at you because, like, oh, look, this black kid who doesn't know how to act in society.
No, but see, I think
Darius is super woke.
I like that about you, and I want you to, what is it called? Trust me. I want you to trust me when I say I know the difference. You know, you know the difference when it's oh, it's because I'm black.
Right.
As opposed to, oh, it's because I'm not being a man. Because again, you said those are two different experiences in and of itself. It wasn't because I was black. It wasn't because I was a black kid. It was because I was inexperienced in something that is supposed to be something you know as a man. How do you not know how to tie a tie, put up a pair of pants? Like, how do you not know how to do that as a man?
And then suddenly it's your dad's fault.
Yes and no, right? Yes
like,
and no.
Didn't teach you right.
Right, but the thing is that you can't always have that as an expectation.
Right.
That's
true.
You're not always. No one's going to always be in the right situation. Not no one. Everyone is not always going to be in the right situation where the person's going to teach you.
Right.
What if your father was a musician? They never needed a suit. They never needed to wear a suit. So they were like, oh.
Carl Swank, do you wear suits?
Nah.
Exactly.
The last time I wore a suit.
Exactly.
Last time I wore a suit was headshots. Before that, the Christmas party. And before that, it had been like 2 years. I was worried about if it was gonna fit.
That was pre-pandemic you, before you was a musician. You became a musician, fuck them suits.
Yeah, so like it's tough, and I always try to think about perspective now. Whenever I'm thinking about, oh my God, this person doesn't know this. Is this a time to belittle them, or is it a time to educate them? Is it a time to give them perspective? Is it a time to something else besides say, you don't know this?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And there should always be an expectation to a certain extent, right? If you got this job, you should know this.
I expect you to know how to do the basics of your job.
You should know this, right?
Yeah.
But it's a pair of pants, bro. Like, no, I don't know how to fold a pair of pants that I'm only going to wear 3 times a year.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, because, like you said, like, if your father, let's say, like, because I've seen a lot of that when it comes to, like, military families, right? Like, I personally never fired a gun before. Mm. And, like, well, I've met other military people, they're like, oh, your dad never showed you how to fire a gun? It's like, and I give them the answer, well, my dad didn't trust me enough to handle guns. Let's just be real. But you know, but that's an expectation. They're like, well, as a military brat, you should know how to fire a gun. Mm. You know? Not saying that my dad doesn't know how to, because he does. Right. But he never showed me that. And so, like, I get what you're saying. Like, there, you can't expect what your father showed you or didn't show you to apply to the next person and the next person and the next person.
I mean, I can be your daddy and teach you how to shoot.
You know, I am glad Randy is literally 75% his own volume, even though we've already put in, you know, the things in place so that you're not loud. You have been doing great. And I'm glad about that. Even your jokes. Well, your jokes are always been.
Oh, are we talking about my mic levels?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's happening?
I'm talking about your your energy levels, if you know what I mean.
Oh shit, my sensus.
No, you're.
Stop it.
What? God damn
I'm throwing
it.
too much at you. I'm throwing too much.
You
at
are. Hold
It's
on.
okay. He's got to Google sensu beans.
Stop it.
But yeah, nah. You don't want to know who tries to like emasculate me on the regular? Older black women.
Yep.
I feel like that's generational though.
And younger black women, but we won't go there. Mostly black women try to emasculate me on the regular. The amount of times I've heard the comment, that boy's got some fruit and berries in him. I could make a down payment on a mortgage with that.
I mean, okay, for the term fruit and berries, that's definitely older women.
You know who you are if you're listening.
I mean, again, I'm gonna attribute to that to the older women being generational. Not saying that it should be said because it shouldn't be.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna attribute that to being generational compared to the younger women. I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that one.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm still me. But it's like, I feel like as I act myself daily, people just in the surrounding area are looking to find something about me they don't like and hone in on it and use that as a reason for me not being like, I guess, masculine. I don't know. But if you've been listening for some time now, you can understand why I get those kind of comments.
Yeah.
Did I wink with the right eye? I don't know. I don't know why Leon left.
I don't know, but
I don't know why Leon. Look,
that's why.
Oh shit! It's C Rizzy.
Well, I guess on that cue, that means we have run over our time. Unless.
what's up, y'all? New guest.
Oh, we have a new guest.
Yeah, sit in the middle. Sit in the middle. We got Mike set up for you right here. He's talking to Randy's.
Hey, Swank,
Hey,
this is our
exciting.
friend Chris.
This is our new guest, Chris. I
He just
guess,
showed up at the end of the episode.
I guess he's going to be in the episode today.
Are we at our hour mark?
Bro, we are at our hour
over
10,
an hour.
probably.
Oh shit! Let's round this out.
Whatever,
I'm gonna be
bro.
honest, we had an hour and a half.
Oh, shoot.
All right, let's brown bear bright side this shit out.
Okay. Brown Bear Bright Side. Bright Side. The conversation of masculinity is being talked about more. Hopefully, as it's talked about more, the younger kids will find a way to develop and not take it out in toxic ways.
Ooh. God, man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Ooh, my brown bear bright side. God, Darius, you took it. Like, that's...
It's okay if it's the same.
People, yep. I mean, I can agree. I already agreed. Yeah, I said it's a good one, so I obviously agree. People are being more self-aware in general about what it means to be not only a human being, not only masculinity, but also being a human being. So let me fill in Chris real quick. Chris, you're gonna do a brown bird bright side because you're here on the podcast. All you have to do though is say anything good about what's going on in your life or about our topic today, masculinity. So I mean, you could say what's going on with you, but you know, go ahead, Randy.
The most masculine quote I can think of right now. Be who you want to be. And I'll let y'all figure out who actually said that.
That was my turn.
Yeah.
You should let Swank go first because Chris just showed
I
up.
don't know what's going on. I'm just here now.
Swank, give a brown bear bright side and I'll cue Chris in. afterwards.
My brown bear bright side is this is just a great healthy conversation, and if more conversations like this keep happening, then maybe society will be a better place.
Damn. Okay, that was pretty good. All right, Chris, you got to follow that great one up.
I don't got anything, man. I guess
You happy about?
I'm happy about, man. I'm happy to be here alive with
I
my
know that's
friends,
real.
bro. That's it.
That's true. That's truth right there, bro.
There we go.
All right.
Hey, so if y'all enjoyed this, don't forget to like. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna get to him. I'm not gonna forget Swank. Godly. If you really like when Randy interrupts me when I'm trying to outro us, please hit a like, give us a comment. That would be great. He'll continue to do it if you do it. Golly, and Swank.
Yep.
What's your social medias, man? Where do you want us to follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at swank3.o. It's SWANK, the number 3, period, the letter O. And then TikTok, Cal Swank. Spotify, all music's on Spotify, Apple Music. Cal Swank is KHAL space SWANK. Yeah, definitely check out the Above Average Scrubs tape and just check out the page over the next couple months. It'll be albums dropping every month until May. Just dropped one last week. Yeah, last week. Lost Files is streaming now. Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms. And yeah,
Alright.
that's pretty much it.
Nice. Appreciate it. Signing out, Leon.
Yes. There's.
It's your boy Randy.
I'm Chris.
Bye.
Oh gosh.
Thanks, Swag.
The feature.
Dude, I was about to just sit in the hallway and wait for y'all. I was like, all right.
Surprise guest.